And I am proud to welcome my longtime friend and great member of the Baylor family, David Wetzel, on to the Mosley Show. David, I know I've made this move over to YouTube where I'm actually on screen. As you can tell, I still dress the way I always did, even when in radio. And I'm hoping at some point I've got my Lake Highlands ball cap on, which I
Yep.
like to wear LH stuff. But this new stop, and I mean, I guess it's not official, but it's official everywhere I'm reading it. But
Yeah.
this next stop you're about to make in your coaching career, I will need some gear. All right. I'm happy to wear it, but I'll need some help in that area. Welcome to the Mosley Show, sir.
Man, I appreciate it. And it's good to see your Lake Highlands hat. Great people over there. And you need to keep sporting the hat, but we will get you some PCA gear because you obviously have lots of friends. There's a lot of great Baylor connections there. And, we're excited about the future.
Man, Prestonwood Christian, you were going to be the new head coach there.
Right.
I'm very excited for you, but I mean, I'm just kind of curious, like, had you kind of been, you're a very spiritual man. Had you kind of been open to this over these last year or two? Like, you've obviously done a great job with the B Association, replacing Walter, and that's a huge job that you have there. Had this been on your heart or in your mind at all, or did this just kind of almost surprise you? What was the buildup to you deciding this was the route you needed to go?
Well, first and foremost, I love our Baylor letter winners. Just an incredibly special group of people. And what an honor to be able to be the executive director for the last, two seasons, really. And just a tremendous opportunity to serve and be a part of an organization that I'm a member of, but just got to spend time with some awesome people. And to answer your question, Matt, it's I don't want to over spiritualize anything, but the truth of the matter is, it's certainly a God thing. I've had plenty of people over the last 18 months or so that have told me, man, you still need to be coaching. A lot of people that I look to and have great friendships with, and even family members, but I've kind of pushed some of those opportunities away. This one, just for whatever reason, was not looking for. Didn't even think the timing was right, I guess. And when we think about it in terms of what we think when we plan as human beings sometimes, but the Lord opened a door, and really we're excited about a new adventure right now, and that's what it is. Because I mean, this will be my last coaching job. I mean, I think I can certainly say that, and it's going to be fun. It's really something we're really looking forward to.
Did Baylor great Neil Jeffrey? Did he get involved in the recruiting process on this? I mean,
You
that's
know, Neil Jeffrey is excited. Jay Jeffrey is probably mad at me right now. Jay's a dear friend here in Waco. Love the Jeffrey family, both all the guys and their wives and families, and but yeah, Neil's been involved, but Neil has been a guy that's just been praying for me, just been supporting and encouraging me. So never pushed at all, and but yeah, he's been involved because that's an incredible human being right now. But yeah, Neil's obviously a hero. So is Jay Jeffrey.
had you had opportunities? Rule brings you in
Right.
from San Antonio around 2017. I guess.
December 9th, 2016. I
Wow.
know it well.
And did he? Okay, you got that call from him.
Yeah.
How hard was it? Somewhat easy because it was Baylor, but you knew you were giving. I mean, you had really worked towards something, and all these jobs and moves your family had made to get to where you were in the high school ranks. How hard was that to walk away from that? I mean, again, rewarding to come to Baylor and help Matt Rule turn things around, but I guess that almost had to be a calling that you felt like, hey, I think God's telling me to do this. But how difficult of a decision was that at the time?
Well, we were, we were at San Antonio Reagan, incredible place at that time. And I mean, all three of our sons grew up in that community, and we had great friends and great people and involved in great church there, incredible school, and probably would have stayed there and retired. I mean, it had not been for the Baylor situation, but I will say that, it was probably the timing was great in that. Family blessed it. The hardest part, Matt, for me leaving to come to Baylor at that point was leaving the THSCA president deal, because I was elected the president of the Texas High School Coaches Association in 2015. And you take a college job, you give that up. And that was probably the pinnacle of, being elected by your peers as the president of the largest association of its kind. A tremendous honor, the highest honor that I could have achieved as a high school football coach. And so I had to leave that, but it was the right thing to do. Never have looked back. I loved working for Coach Rule. Obviously the first year was certainly challenging when we came in, but gosh, it's so rewarding. And then the next couple of years, we were able to build up to what it was and getting to go to Big 12 championship in 2019, and then getting to work with Coach Aranda when he came in, and getting to help see how that grew, and then win the Big 12 in 2021. And I just got to be around some incredible young men on the football team, some great people on the staff, and whether it was being involved X and O wise, or dealing with high school coaches, or recruiting, or dealing with walk-on roster, or whatever it was, I loved my time on the Baylor football staff. It was a lot of fun. So I'm glad it was. I'm glad that it was part of the career. But I've had a lot of people tell me, "Hey, you still need to be coaching." And so this opportunity again has been a God thing. So just thankful and looking forward to it.
I guess you remember how to do this, right? Do you have to brush up on some things? Your son has really risen up the ranks and is a really good coach and everything. So I don't know if you're going to try to recruit him on the staff or whatever. He's got his own thing going, I guess. But how does it? I guess it never goes away, does it? Like even the guy that Alito who tried to retire, what did he do? I mean, it's kind of fun winning state titles, right? I think he was retired for a year or two, and he came back. You feel, I guess coaches it used to be, especially in high school, you get to like 50, or even Darrell Royal, I think, retired at age 52.
Yeah.
Now you see Saban. Now you see the guy at Indiana who's, 65 years old.
Yeah.
It's interesting, isn't it, how that mindset has changed a little bit. If you take care of yourself, which I believe you have.
Let's hope so.
Yeah. You still feel like you got some years left, don't you? And it used to be like, man, if you got to a certain age, it's like, well, I probably ought to go hang it up now.
Right. You bring up a great point, and I will say that my family's been super supportive and encouraging in this, because I've tried to push it away several times, and my boys, all three of them, who are very, very different in their occupations, all three of them, it's like, Dad, you need to do this. You need to keep yourself young, keep yourself fresh. This will keep you motivated, keep you involved. And so I'm grateful that, I was able to listen to them. And I think God speaks through your family at times. My wife is supportive of this. You did mention Skylar, our middle son. He coaches at South Lake Carroll. He does have a great gig. He spent 3 years at Denton Geyer. Now he's been 2 years at South Lake Carroll. And the guy has been, he's coached in 2 state championship games in 5 years. So he's got a great gig going. I don't know that he would want to leave. I'd love to have him come over with me and us get to work together. But he's got a great gig on his own, and he's doing a great job. And I think he's a really good football coach, great for kids. He and his family live in South Lake right now. Has got a beautiful daughter-in-law, Brianna, and two granddaughters that we'll get to be a little bit closer to right now, Manning May and Emerson Elliott, that we're excited about being able to see them a little bit more often. But he's a great dad and great husband, but a really good football coach. But I want to mention our other two sons, because they've really helped in making this decision. Our youngest son, Chase, is an accountant in downtown Dallas, and he has a Baylor degree, master's in accounting. He played high school football at Midway, and he's the one that pushed so hard. He's like, Dad, you need to do this. you need to stay young, and that's who you are and what you do, and you're still going to be good at it, and this is going to be a good thing for you. So he pressed on me pretty hard. But my oldest son, if you can see the hat I've got on today, it's Horizon Dairy. Our oldest son, Garen, is an ag degree from Tarleton, and he's a dairy farmer, and so this is where he works. If you've ever had Core Power or Fairlife Milk, that's where it's kind of the parent company of this. And so he's got an incredible job with wonderful people. So he and his wife Elaine live in Hamilton, and so they're close to where we are. But he's not a football coach, but he has blessed what I'm doing and has encouraged me because he wants me to try to stay young and active, and I'm thankful. And what I think back to, Matt, the reason I bring our sons up is because all three of them played high school football. Only one of them played college football. So high school football is special. High school football instilled in my belief and my philosophy is something that gets young men ready for the real world. They can go do a lot of jobs, and they can look back at those high school football days and know that there's something in there they learned somewhere along the way that's helping them in what they're doing now in their occupations as husbands, as fathers, the grit, the accountability, the chasing after excellence, just all the things we learn from high school football, whether you're a great player or not. So I just am grateful that my sons got the opportunity to be a part of that. And I'm thankful for what they're doing now, but they know dad has got a little gas in the tank still. And so they've been super encouraging to push me into that.
Do you feel like I would have been a decent dairy farmer? Like when you think of me,
man, you would be shocked at what goes into that. It is a big business, and tremendous amount of work, but some incredible people. And I've been out to my son's dairy a couple times, and I'm blown away. He's way smarter than his old man, and the things that he can do, the things that he can fix, the things that he can operate is unbelievable. So all three of our boys are smarter than their dad.
You better bone up on, your praise and worship songs up at Prestonwood. You were really good at those during the COVID. Yeah. You led a lot of those chapel services, and you're great on the guitar. And
you're kind.
Who knows? You'll probably get you might end up. I mean, Jack Graham will try to get you. You got to watch it, because once you take over as head coach, there's no telling what those guys may try to ask you to do up there. They're going to really get you involved. So. And I happen to know a few of those people, but this will be an incredible opportunity there at PCA. Let me ask you this: between the private and public, you've done them both. And in fact, I was looking back at your past. There was a stop that kind of grabbed my attention. I'm like, okay, so he has done a private school in his past. You want to win, and you're going to coach them up the same. I'm sure. Yeah. It's not like I'm going to treat these private school kids differently. I guess maybe you can be a little bit more public and overt with your faith, perhaps. What's the biggest difference between coaching public and private school?
Well, I'm a public school product, but also, I have 2 degrees from a private school at Baylor. So there is a place for everyone, and, all students, all football players that want to play, they deserve a place to play. And so I think there's a spot for everyone. And so, I love the public schools. I've obviously got great friends, and spending many, many years coaching in public schools. But I've done the private school thing before, and I just have incredible memories from it. The kids that I coach there they're in their mid 40s now. At Hyde Park Baptist in Austin. And some of those guys are, they've reached out, and, I've got great memories from that time, because they were some tremendous kids with great families and smart kids. But what I do remember the most, and what I don't think is any different anywhere, is kids want to be coached. They want to be coached hard. They want to chase after great things. They want to go after excellence. Parents want the same thing. So I don't know that it matters where the school is. I think back to your point about, the opportunity to do it at a place like Prestonwood, where the school is centered on our faith in Christ is like, it just gives it a different perspective. So I would say that's the difference.
All right. And have you had a lot of volunteers already reach out? I can just only imagine Big Cat. Well, we know a couple of Big Cats from Baylor. And Santana. I mean, you could put together kind of an all-star staff. That's got to be an interesting thing, though, because you haven't had to. You probably took jobs in high school where you brought a couple of people with you, and then probably retained some of the people. Now you go to private school. I don't know what the staff will look like. That's got to be an interesting process. Have you already had people reach out saying, "Hey, do you need an edge rush, an edge coach, or a safeties?" This will be a little different, even though you'll have a lot of money at PCA. I don't think you can have a coach for like every tiny position. But what's that been like? I bet you're hearing from people.
Heard from a lot of people, Matt. You're right. A lot of people have expressed interest and reached out, and you bring up. I mean, we could put a lot of little Baylor boys. We could put them to work, but I'm not sure some of them. I think some of them are enjoying the life they have right now and are doing really, really well. And but I tell you, PCA Prestonwood Christian Academy is an incredible place. They operate at a very high level in terms of how they run their athletic programs in the school. So there are people that want to go there. There are people that want to work there. But in terms of me hiring a staff, and I mean, I haven't even gotten in there yet, haven't met the kids, haven't met the parents. One of these days I'll have the opportunity to sit down with the coaches that are there, do some evaluation, do some talking and watching and learning, and really what it's going to be is trying to figure out what do we need to be able to be successful, and how do we go about that in the best way. So that's the fun part. That's the challenging part. I think it's one of those deals where is it under a time crunch? I mean, there's you're trying to get ready for a football season, but also you don't want to go too fast. You want to make sure that you evaluate properly and do the right things, because you want the right people on the bus, and you want to get the right people who are the right fit. And so, in terms of like, hey, what are we going to do offensively or defensively or things? I really want to go, watch the kids and kind of see where we are in off season, and do some evaluating and watching and learning, and we're going to figure that out. I've been in this game long enough that there's lots of ways to skin the cat. X's and O wise, and coaching staff wise, and the way you practice. And so it's going to be a deal where we're going to figure that out together. And so I look forward to that challenge.
I bet you looked at that schedule so fast. I mean, the minute you agreed to it, or even before, I bet coaches love to get a good schedule in front of them and start to kind of see what their fall looks like and all that kind of thing. I have had people reach out to me, David, already telling me like who your quarterback is, who you're inheriting. If I've got this right, it seems like that's a great last Baylor name. I don't think probably this is a relation to the Glass family, but I think you will not, the cupboard will not be empty. All right. So I'm already hearing about some of the things you'll inherit. One of your legacies that's a great legacy at Baylor as you go on this new journey is the walk-ons. And I got to say, I mean, you get to see Josh Cameron now go through the combine. One of your walk-ons is now starting for Baylor, and I think he was one of the guys that actually remained with the team at safety. You and I both have talked a lot about the great
Jacob Redding.
Lake Highlands kid. That's Redding's. Yeah. He's been
incredible.
About
Caleb Parker was a tremendous football player for us.
Yeah, but that's a really cool legacy that. And you were in charge of that. You also were the liaison with the high schools. I mean, they put a lot on your plate, but I just felt like your heart, that walk on, and then it wasn't just, hey, let's fill out the roster and have a few people that can be out there and help us practice. Like of course, I was trying to feed you players like crazy, and I was trying to send you a bunch of stiffs probably, but you found some guys that ended up being like huge contributors. So that's got to be a very rewarding thing for you to see those guys get honored. And then some of them have been, have ended up being considered like the best walk-ons in the country.
Right. It's, I appreciate you bringing that up, Matt. I love that part of my job. Loved it. Just, I got to meet incredible families, work with just some phenomenal young men. That was kind of my squad. And gosh, those guys. I mean, you talk about some guys that are going to go on and do great things in their lives. I mean, not all of them are going to be like Josh Cameron and go to the combine, but these are some tremendous people. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. But it allowed me to do, to work through the recruiting process, evaluation process, the coaching part of it, and ran walk-on tryouts, talked to high school coaches, talked to families, and that was a big part of roster management too. And that's one of the things in the last, since the house settlement and the roster change and the roster cap, and that part of it, the way it was before, has really kind of gone away. And so it'll be different. But the time I got to spend doing that, I'm so thankful for.
All right. Well, I'm excited for you. I hope you talk to the 1968 and 69 Bears. That crew, including my father.
They're great people.
Yeah, they need to approve this your decision to leave the B Association. But
Yeah.
you'll always be a phone call away, and
Yes,
I know
sir.
Baylor will come up with somebody, and I'm sure people are already lining up to try to replace you. I mean, you better get all your stuff out of the office before somebody tries to get in there. But you did a great job, and that's not
Yeah.
easy to step in there. And everybody loved how you treated people, and it's kind of amazing all you've done, because I would say most football coaches just want to coach, and you somehow could do that, but you also treated people the right way and could be hospitable to people. And that's one of those gigs where, you're constantly, people are asking you for something, and, oh, can I do this? Can I have a pass for this person? And that is not easy. So I recognize you did a great job. You got people like me who didn't play at Baylor that continue to try to come in that room. And
we always love having your family in there, Matt, and you. And I mean, I love the lounge on the game days. Just a lot of fun, and I mean, incredible people. And I've told people, that have asked, like, I'm a Baylor alum, and I'm still a member of the Baylor B Association. So it's not like I won't be back. And again, you're right, I'm a phone call away, and I can help. And so, absolutely.
All right. You got to be, by the way, you excited about DJ Lagway, the legacy
DJ
Bear?
Yeah. I kind of went through his recruiting process the first time. And so, yeah, I love he and his family, and looking forward to seeing what he can do.
All right. Well, great to have you, and excited to watch that team. PCA, great facilities, great people around the program. And I was asking somebody today, like, who's the best player to ever come out of there? I'm trying to kind of get to know my PCA history.
What'd they tell you?
Thing. Jack said it was Stogner.
Yeah. Well, Austin, we tried to recruit him at Baylor because his dad, Brad, was one of my teammates. And Brad's two brothers, Dan and Gray, also played at Baylor. So Austin's mom, Baylor grad, Missy. And so, I would say, having watched him on film and watched him at camp and having recruited him, he's got to be in the consideration as the greatest to come through there. But we'd like some more like him, and I look forward to getting to meet those kids and getting after it on the field with them.
All right, sounds good. I may crash one of your chapel services or something.
Let's go, man.
I like to see what you have there, and the kids will enjoy having a football coach who's also a crooner. They had, Darryl Royal used to hang out with Willie Nelson, but I don't know. But that's great that you can do that. You'll be unbelievable there. So very happy for you. And,
thank you, Matt.
Great to visit with you.
Thank you, Matt. Appreciate you and your friendship. Take care, man.